Let's talk about anxiety. It's such an important conversation to have because pretty much everybody experiences anxiety to a certain level. So let's talk about it. There's such stigma attached to the word anxiety by itself. A lot of times when I try and start a conversation, somebody says to me, no, I don't want to talk about that. That's uncomfortable. And that's why it's so important to talk about, because it does feel uncomfortable when we experience anxiety. So let's start talking about what anxiety is and what anxiety is not. Anxiety is not weakness. It does not make you weak when you feel anxiety. That's a misconception. Anxiety is an emotion. As simple as that. It is information. And anxiety is fear and uncertainty. When we combine fear and uncertainty, we have anxiety. It's that what if thinking. What if something happens that I cannot control? Then we feel anxiety. We feel the emotion. And it is an emotion that is in the fear category. So fear is there to protect us. We threat assess as humans. And I do want to feel fear when something particular happens that is a threat to my life. When that saber-toothed tiger is chasing me through the parking lot, I want to feel intense fear in order to react appropriately to stay alive in the face of threat. The difference with anxiety is we add the component of uncertainty. It is not necessarily a specific threat. It is the uncertainty added to it. So it is a real or a perceived threat that is vague, and it is future oriented. So we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what the outcome will be in the future. So we need to come back to understanding that anxiety serves a purpose. It can teach us something. It's not meant to just be there to annoy us. So what can we do when we experience anxiety? Well, when we understand that it is an emotion and it serves a purpose, we can think about what is it trying to teach me? So we get to make a choice. And here is our choice. We can either go into judgment and shame, and we can say, I can't experience anxiety. It makes me weak. We can go into self-judgments and talk about all the things that make us not good enough, not valued enough, and just experience the anxiety. We can go into not talking about the anxiety, and that's where we're in shame. And that's where anxiety thrives, not talking about it, not putting it out in the open. That's the threat that anxiety really brings. Or we can make a different choice. We can say, I accept that I feel anxiety, and I'm curious about what it is trying to teach me. So that is a very different approach, accepting the emotion of anxiety and saying, what is it trying to teach me? That is the big difference. So this is the choice you can make when you feel anxiety. The first step is to become aware about the anxiety. And even this conversation today will help you be more aware of anxiety. Because as we talk about it and you learn to understand it, that's when you can then break the cycle and make different choices. And your choice is to go into judgment and shame, or to make a different choice and go into healthy behaviors and accept that anxiety is part of who we are. It truly makes us human. We threat assess as humans, and anxiety is part of that. And become curious about what is it trying to teach me? Coming back to the conversation into what if thinking. What if I have a conversation and somebody says something and I don't know how to react? Well, that is good information. Then I can think about, is there something I need to do to prepare for that conversation? What is it really about if I need to say, I don't know the answer, I need to come back to you later? And then we can build healthy behaviors around that emotion and the behaviors and the thoughts. We can create a different path and we can create a different outcome. So think about what you want to do. What is the choice you want to make next time you feel anxiety? Acknowledge it, understand it, and manage it differently.